All right, what's going on YouTube? Back with another video. Man, I've been doing these runs at least 5 times a week. I'll get off and then immediately I get up at 2, about like 2:30. All right, I'll go for a run. And I do it for about 45 minutes to about an hour. And it's been amazing, right? I have to run here, then I have to run back. That's about 10 miles. All right, but I lost some weight and then I also gained some weight. So I lost like 10 pounds and I gained like 4 pounds. I've been documenting this, but it's the best I felt. But I had to make a video for y'all. All right, I was thinking about this when I was working, and these ideas usually come as I'm working. Right, I got to be moving. When I was in Yellowstone last year, I would just be sweeping or whatever. I'd just be moving, always moving, and that's when my ideas came. And if I was in Florida, right, I'll be at the beach, right, with no socks on, no shoes, and just be walking. And I would try to, go to the ocean, get some shells, and just feel the shells, and that's when I get my ideas. You know what I'm saying? Like just going for a walk and using my brain, all right, and thinking. All right, thinking is also a skill. To think. All right, look it up, folks. How to think. This is something that school should have taught us. We should learn that at age 3, how to think. But sadly, we went to public schools. You know what I'm saying? Public school ain't gonna teach you all this shit. But I had I'm gonna tell you a very uncomfortable story that I had last year. Well, a story of something that happened to me and my colleagues, my fellow, coworkers, last year. Um, and it was uncomfortable, but it got me to think. So we're just working, right, in Old Faithful Land, and this guy comes over, and I'm very good on vibes, right? This person might have an interesting vibe, and we're talking to him, and um, he asked us about the living situation, right? The cost of living for us and the food, and the whole entire setup, right? And he says, "You guys are basically like indentured servants." And off the bat, like the whole team got a little bit uncomfortable. I'm like, damn. Like I heard about that indentured servitude. You ever heard about that, folks? Go look it up, please. Like my main goal with these videos is to get you to think. All right, it should be very uncomfortable in these videos because that means you're growing. We shouldn't be scared to get uncomfortable. That's when I've grown the most. It's not about being comfortable. It's not about sitting around eating Twinkies. No, you're gonna get in shape when your ass is out there feeling it. Like even running here, bro. Like, oh man, uncomfortable. My first time doing this, like 3 weeks ago, I started running. My freaking shins, bro, freaking messing up. I haven't done this in a long since high school, and I'm getting back into my high school shape, like even better, man. Like, cause I'm doing it in the mountains, bro. In Florida, you're like 2 feet above sea level. Here, I'm 3,000 plus feet above sea level, so I'm getting in better shape than I have ever been. But that's how you grow in life. So he says you guys are basically like indentured servants. So why I'm telling you guys this story is because there was a guest. He was mixed, right? He was black and white, and he's traveling around America. And I just saw him in a restaurant 2 days ago, and we're talking, and he was telling me about the Native American history. But he says it's funny because in Europe you had indentured servitude, and you could be a servant and then buy your freedom. But he says America's the only country where it was founded from slavery. And not only that, the upward mobility is very hard, honestly. Now, I said, what do you mean by that? He says, basically, if you're a person here in America and you don't really have assets and you're born into a certain kind of class, it's going to be harder for you to pass on wealth to your kids. America ranks, I believe, like top 3 in the world. Yes, we're wealthy, but when it comes to inequality, right, the inequality gap is freaking ridiculous here in America. And I look it up, I'm like, the guy's right. I thought he was like kind of like winking it, like just saying like I knew in Europe they had that servitude stuff, and like you could like buy your freedom. But I'm like, damn, bro, it's very interesting when you like talk to people about this stuff about America and the current system, and it is true. America ranks like top 3, and I'm not gonna be a guy to spread pessimism and to be negative about this. Just understand the current system and some solutions, man. First thing first, man. We look at Wall Street, right? We had AMC stock, we had GameStop, we had all these stocks. They were halted. All right, it went up, I believe, 30-40%, and then they stopped trading. We don't have a free market, folks. People should know this stuff. Like it's not really a free market. We have central planning. The ledger for traded information, right? The Federal Reserve controls that shit. It's a centralized ledger. It's not a decentralized ledger, you know. And like I said, solutions. What is a solution for me? Like I said, this is my life. This is the fourth turning, and what is that? What is the fourth turning? First thing first, the boomers are retiring, folks. And today, I definitely noticed it as far as us being short staffed. I didn't complain, but it was definitely like a lot of moving today. All right, let's put it that way. Where I could just see that like we need help, man. Every place I've been to, man, we're short staffed. And here's the sad part about this: the biggest, this generation called the baby boomers, a huge generation, and now we're gonna have to pay for them. Right? It's kind of windy out here, folks. I apologize. It's kind of windy. It's very, very windy. But they're all retiring at the same time, and we don't have enough tax money, man. Like there's like no tax money. I mean, there's no money left to fund their retirement. So by the year, I believe 2032, we're going to be out of that retirement fund money. I believe it's social security, and we're going to be out of money. So what are they going to do? Like they're going to have to print money, folks. They're going to have to print fucking money just to pay for the generation. You know what I'm saying? For their living, man. For funding their lifestyle, man. And that means inflation. We have $200 trillion of unfunded liabilities, guys. 200 trillion of unfunded liabilities. So with that being said, man, I'm looking at all this, and it's like we're paying for their retirement. My generation, it's like, is this moral? My generation, we want to live, but then they literally are saving in their home, pushing the fucking home prices up, and we're paying the price. My generation. I see a lot of us are frustrated, man. It's not about me, stoking the fire. Hey, go out there and cause chaos. But it's like, is this morally right? Kind of like what I mentioned with that old Navy video, credit and I'm seeing, man, the loss of morals in this fiat network. People actually believing that, okay, we can just keep on doing what we're doing, not looking at the system for what it is, and just the laziness, man, of just not looking at shit for what it is, bro. Like I'm looking for solutions, bro, because this is really unsustainable, man. This leads to people being angry. Because like I said, we gotta pay for this shit. Like my generation, like we know there's gonna be no money left by the year 2032. Like we are, I talked to people in my generation. We know the system is literally on its last leg. But it's like, why we gotta pay for this shit, man? I didn't pay the fucking money. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't even alive when they started taking money out of this fund in the 1980s. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why should we have to pay for somebody else's lifestyle? Is that morally right, man? Oh no. But going back to what that man said, indentured servitude, I'm looking up before I go to sleep tonight and just see what it really is. But you can't even control how people view you. You know what I'm saying? He view us as indentured servants. You know what I'm saying? I know some of y'all might have jobs, right? You can't really, you can't really, you can't really change how people view you. There's a guy on YouTube. I believe his name is Andrew Tate, right? He calls people wages. People that have jobs and all this stuff. And like I said, people aren't lazy. I don't think people are really lazy. It's just that people don't really know. Like I see people working 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week, spending more time to get the same goods and services. Half of their paycheck for the whole entire month is going towards living, bro. Is that sustainable? And then on top of that, we pay 30% of our time to the government each year. Think about that shit, right? If money is time, we're paying 30% of our time to the government, but are they being efficient with our time, with our capital? Some of these things I just don't really understand, but hopefully there's somebody smarter than me because I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. All right, I want to actually grow and learn, but you know, I got so many questions and I'm looking for answers, and hopefully somebody got a book that I can read or something like that, or I can find somebody smarter than me to just kind of help me out with this because I want to be able to help solve this problem. I really do. People are literally walking around sad and hopeless. I got hope, man. I got hope for our species, but it's just like I don't know, man. Do y'all have hope? Because something got to change. And I definitely sense, what I sense right now? My human intuition, I really do sense change coming very fast. Like, this ain't going to last 15 more years. I sense some kind of change happening it's going to be talked about for thousands of years coming up soon. I can just sense it. I can sense it, man. Some kind of change that's going to lead to True opportunity. Now, with that comes volatility, right? With volatility comes people freaking out, people getting scared, fear, but also it comes opportunity. It comes to people that are studying right now, getting stronger mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I mean, the fourth turning is the winter, folks. During winter, you should be getting stronger, right? Going for runs, right? I know it's cold, but who else doing it? Who else going for runs? Why it's cold? Who else? You know, they get off work and then boom, they might take a little nap. You know what I'm saying? It's like this ain't really the time to be lazy because this means that there's gonna be a lot of change happening. And if you're lazy right now, you won't be ready when real change happens. You'll be just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? People like look back 100 years ago. All right, people stayed in the UK. You know what I'm saying? They knew that their time was coming to an end. After World War One, the UK pushed inflation to America, causing the great boom and the great bust. Right? We now know it was a scam. It was caused by the UK. At least, again, if you study. But there was bombs dropped all over the UK in the Second War, the Second World War. All right, and people that stayed there lost their life. You can't really afford to be lazy, man, and just do nothing. If you would have stayed here the last 4 years, you would have lost at least 35 to 40% of your purchasing power, right? That means more goods, right? And like, how many goods can you actually get with your time? Jerome Powell dilutes you by 40%. It's like, now what? You can't really afford to sit here and do nothing, man. Like, that's a sad part about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just can't sit there. I wish you could just sit here and just save your capital, save your time, but Jerome Powell knows that we're insolvent. You know who Jerome Powell is? He has to keep on diluting our stock to make the U.S. debt. Let's just say we're at $100 trillion in debt, right? 100 trillion. We're at about $34 trillion right now. $100 trillion in the future, at the more money printing, will be worth less. You know what I'm saying? But again, they're trying to keep this ball running, or ball rolling. You know what I'm saying? Like keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. It's like they want to kick the can down the road, right? They want to kick the can down the road and just keep on doing what they're doing. But it's like, at what cost? There's a social cost, a mental cost, physical cost. I mean, people have to give more time to get the same goods. It's like, okay, well then you got to be educated enough, to understand the game and how it really is played. You know what I'm saying? People say, this person got played. Do you want to get played, man? People get played by their government right now. Seriously, they're getting played right now by their fucking government, and people are trusting these people, man. They're trusting these incompetent leaders. That is crazy to me. All right, do you want to get played again? If life was a game, why get played by a parasite that you're getting played by? You know what I'm saying? But you did nothing about it. I'm just saying, I don't want to get played. I won't get played this time. You know what I'm saying? People 100 years ago got played. And like I said, you got tons of history showing you the 10,000 fiat currencies. I all went to zero. The USD is a what? Fiat currency. It will go to zero. So why get played, bro? Like why sit here and get played when you have the history? If you study the historia, it's right here. All right? Why get played again? As a Homo sapien. So yeah, man, I'm gonna go study some indentured servitude. I'm gonna go see what that brother was talking about. I'm like, damn, that's so interesting. America, one of the only countries founded, or nation states, I would say, founded with slavery. Interesting. So yeah, man, this has been a good day. Let me go show y'all around this a little bit. Nice little area. The mountains over here. They got some snakes out, boy. Them snakes are out. Rattlesnakes. Serious out here, man. Look at that. Beautiful view. Going for a little run. It's nice. We gotta see my next video. Peace.